The Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association is an organization of non-NCAA college lacrosse programs representing student athletes on 213 teams in 2 divisions in 10 member conferences across the United States and Canada. We are the MCLA.
Good afternoon, lacrosse fans. Live from Dick's Sporting Goods Park, this is the MCLA Division II Championship Tournament. I'm Dan Matthews with my color commentator today, Pete Van Dusen. And Pete, today we've got a matchup of the 8 and 9 seeds, SCAD, the Savannah College of Art and Design, the Bees, versus the North Dakota State University Bison. The winner of this one gets the dubious task of taking on Grand Valley.
Grand Valley had just a monster game in the previous game, Dan. Good to be here. A little windy, a little chilly, but I guarantee you that the 2 teams out there playing right now don't feel it. There's a fever pitch developing out here. You've got the Savannah College of Art and Design versus the North Dakota State University Bison, and this is going to be a matchup of a very strong defense on the behalf of the SCAD team, plus a very good attack, a very powerful attack from the Bisons.
Very interesting matchup when you look at these 2 teams. North Dakota State, they look like a bunch of farm boys. They're large, they fill up a lot of space, where these kids from the finger painting school, as they call it, SCAD, a little bit smaller but more feisty. Their defense is going to swarm a lot. It's going to keep the North Dakota State offense really on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And getting back to the Bison, you know, a very powerful attack is led from the likes of Alex Flock, number 15, and his compatriots are Matthew Reese, and Kyle Sturgeon, who have been putting in the goals like it's going out of style this time. So it's no joke that the SCAD team is going to have their work definitely cut out for them.
Without a doubt, it's going to be an exciting day here today between SCAD and North Dakota State. We'll come back with the starting lineups right after this commercial break. Welcome back, everyone, to the MCLA National Championship here in Denver, Colorado. Thanks for joining us here on College Lax TV. Again, Dan Matthews here with Pete Van Dusen. And Pete, let's take a look at the starting lineups for each of these teams. First, we're going to take a look at SCAD, the SCAD Bees from Georgia.
And the SCAD Bees are led. Here we go. We'll start off with Dan Comity, number 11, Eric Elmquist on defense, and rounding out that unit is Cody Horoff on D. Midfield is Molinaro, McQuaid, and Sicard, who's the face-off, get-off guy. And then you've got an attack of McKay, McManus, and Shelton Polka, a shifty from behind the cage attackman. And in goal is Creighton Polka, number 14.
And SCAD's got a formula that they like for winning. They like to see 50 shots on net and 6 goals or less given up by their goalie tandem of Creighton Polka and Wade Weinbrenner. They'll alternate first half, second half today.
And so far, it's worked brilliantly for them, Dan. This year, it's going to be a tough task, though, facing, as I've said before, with this very prolific NDSU attack side.
Captain's coin toss taking place at the middle of the field right now. And let's take a look at the lineups for the North Dakota State Bison.
And here you go. The Bison starting lineup is on defense. You've got Matt Melchior, number 20, Alex Robleski, and Jeff McCormick. Robleski and McCormick usually play defensive midi, but they'll play close today. You've got Chaz Irtham. You've got Max Foley, who is an excellent ground ball specialist, and Alex Veldheis, too, rounding out the midfield group. That attack group, as I said before, Sturgeon, Flock, and Reese, very prolific. And need we not forget a very good goalie in Ryan Freeman with a 61% save percentage this year, Dan. That's outstanding.
That's a huge save percentage, facing a lot of shots on net to the North Dakota State Bison. Also a little bit about Max Foley, a transfer student from NYIT who started out living in New York, moved to Minnesota, and was recruited back to NYIT. His coach leaves, decides he's going to give the MCLA a shot and do it in the great state of North Dakota.
Anybody recruited by Coach Cayley has quite a knowledge and a good way of playing the game, so we're looking forward to watching Mr. Foley play today for the Bison.
Should be a great matchup against the number 8 seed, North Dakota State, versus the 9 seed, SCAD, from the College of Art and Design in Savannah, Georgia. When we come back, we'll have your keys to the game, as well as the opening face-off.
Seasons may change, but my game will stay the same. Introducing the Surgeon STX, featuring all climate performance technology.
In cooperation with the Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association, College Lax is proud to bring you coverage of the 2011 National Championship, live from Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City, Colorado. Today's opening round game features Division II, matches the ninth seeded SCAD Bees from the Southeastern Conference versus the 8th seeded North Dakota State Bison from the Upper Midwest Lacrosse League. Again, I'm Dan Matthews with with color commentator Pete Van Dusen. We've got the opening handshake, and folks, we're just about ready for some lacrosse.
That's right, and it couldn't come any sooner, Dan. This is going to be a fantastic matchup against two very excellent teams.
Your officials today: Greg Schneider from St. Louis, Missouri, Joe Cronin is from Utah, and Matt Dempsey from Minnesota. We're set to go. We got at the face-off X, Justin Seacard and David Mills. NDSU wins the face-off. Mills has it. They're going to set their offense.
Mills coming off the field. They're going to slow the ball down a bit, get their personnel on.
Let's take a look at the keys to the game today, Pete, brought to you by STX.
Keys to the game for the NDSU Bisons is, as we said before, ground balls. Let's get on them and stay on them. Everybody knows if you play the sport long enough, you get the ground balls, you stay on them, you got a best chance of winning. Also, another good thing about these long sticks, as well as these attackmen, you got to ride, you got to contain. And let's see what work that these deep poles can do on also a very prolific attack by the SCAD team.
SCAD defense swarming early and creating a ground ball out of bounds. It belongs to the black shirts of the Savannah College of Art and Design. Starting play, Elmquist is going to kick it over to the goalie, who's Creighton Polka. Polka will work it upfield now for SCAD.
Not picking him up yet. He's over midfield now.
Trey McKay with the ball, the shot. Oh, what a save by number 7, Ryan Freeman.
You don't get a 61% save average without making stops like that along the way, Dan.
Freeman caught way out of position. It was a good shot, just a little too slow on the trigger was SCAD. Pat Griffin carrying the ball across midfield, gives it back to Ryan Freeman. Freeman's going to carry it. Looks like we got a couple of goalies who like to come out of the pipes.
Yeah, about 2 minutes into the game, we've already had this happen twice.
Again, North Dakota State will slow it down and set their offense. I think that's going to be one of the keys to the game for North Dakota State is slow this one down a little bit, keep the bees from swarming.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to put the ball right in the hands of the guys you want. And you've got Foley with the ball right now, and he's one of those guys.
Foley on left wing. Circling the wagons is North Dakota State. Up top to Murphy. Murphy working one-on-one. Great dodge. Left-handed shot. Nope. That's a errant ball. It's going to be picked up by Battle on the sidelines for it, and SCAD's got it. Good heads-up play by defenseman Cody Horhoff.
Darren Martin for SCAD just had an excellent defensive series. He's coming off the field right now. Excellent job on the ground ball and close defense on the part of Darren Martin.
Gordy McManus.
From SCAD side, Dan McManus is going to be their go-to guy with 54 goals this season.
Sheldon Polka has the ball, kicks it up top. It's in the hands of Mike Molinaro. They call it Molly. Justin Seacard, the left-hand cradle. Nice pass, not able to catch it is Trey McKay, North Dakota State's Pat Griffin comes up with the ball and kicks it over to Alex Robluski. Oh, Robluski looking to come across midfield, gets absolutely decked, and SCAD picks up the ground ball. Derek Scherson brings the ball back around the cage. And SCAD's going to slow it down, set their offense again.
A lot of physical play in transition here, Dan. It looks like these two teams are trying to feel each other out a little bit before they start making their move to the goal.
Scherson to Polka. Polka with his move, kicks the ball inside. Ground ball is picked up on defense by Jake Hubert. Hubert gets it across the midfield stripe. Coming onto the field is Alex Velheis. Circling the cage, Peter Flock. Flock gets stripped of the ball, picks it up again, shot high. Nice save by Creighton Polka.
Fantastic save by Polka on a very dangerous attackman in Flock. Alex Flock picked up the ball right at the top of the circle and fired it off the goalie's helmet.
Matt Reese behind the play. We got a push on SCAD. It'll be North Dakota State ball.
Right. Well, no, but that's bad for me.
Ian Murphy starts it up for the Bison. Brings it out to midfield, sets the one-on-one. He's covered by Matt Dean. Ball back up top to Flock. Flock's shot goes wide. It's going to be SCAD ball.
So far, it looks like Flock and Reese are trying to set each other up, but this SCAD defense is shutting them down so far very well.
Look for Polka to bring this one out from behind the net and run it up the field. And just as I say it, I'm going to be wrong, but that's okay. Ball's in the hands of Cole Whitworth, who brings it across the midfield stripe with his left-hand cradle. He's guarded closely by Carl Baumgarten. An attempt at the hidden ball trick in the hands of Shelton Polka. Shot blocked by the defenseman on the play. That was number 8. Don't have them on the board, folks. We'll get that name for you in just a moment. But we've got McCormick with the ball for North Dakota State. Ground ball picked up by Kyle Sturgeon for the Bison. North Dakota State again settling in on offense.
And again, they're going to shift the ball up to Foley, get their personnel on. You know, it's about settling down and looking for leads. They're going to try to dodge from up top every time.
We're scoreless at 9 minutes left in the first quarter. There's a feed inside, goes off the pipe. The goalie's best friend.
Little late hit.
Had a great look, but unable to execute because of that darn pipe.
It's part of the goalie's equipment, Dan.
Sturgeon's going to get the restart. He gives it up to Foley. Foley down low, gives it up to Matt Reese, who shoots and scores for the Bison.
Quick passing. The three guys that we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Dan, is Floyd onto Flock and Reese finishing up. A quick bang play right in the middle, unprotected. You got a 1-0 lead for the Bison.
No, but I'm telling it to guys.
Take a look at the replay here. He gives it up to Foley. A great Foley down low, gives it up to Matt.
That's a great backdoor cut with a nice lefty shot finished by Reese.
Mills and Seacard at the X. Just waiting for that traditional after goal stick measurement. Make sure both sticks are legal, and we'll play on. Again, Mills and Seacard at the face-off X. Seacard 59 of 96 on the season. He gets the leverage on that one, but it's going to be fielded by NDSU, who promptly loses it, and now it's in goalie Ryan Freeman's stick. He kicks it up the field to David Mills. Mills brings it across the midfield stripe. Off to Flock, inside, shoots and scores. That is David Mills.
Alex Flock, that is the way you run a break. That was another quick bang play. We're getting to see some real nice passing here from the Bison squad. And Flock just made that whole play happen with a nice continued cut by Mills.
Off to Flock, inside. Off to Flock. Take a look again. Inside, shoots, scores, and the goal by Mills. This is Heisman and Seacard at the face-off X. Face-off 1. That's Moore taking it inside with the shot for SCAD. Trey McKay circling the net for the Bees. Bees guarded closely by Pat Griffin. Bees working it around up top. North Dakota State settling into that 10-man right now. Derek Scherson gives the ball up to Jordy McManus.
I'm sure they would say the same thing. If they were saying it regularly.
Circle the cage, McKay has it. He kicks it up top to Polka. Polka works the ball around. The Bees content to be patient and look for the right shot.
Still early in the game, Dan, but we're going to have to see some a little bit more motion on the part of the SCAD offense. This attack looks like they're ready to erupt.
Mike McQuaid will set it up top. He's going to go one-on-one with Robluski. Shot goes wide, fielded by McKay. McKay kicks it back up top to Scherson. Scherson loses it. Sam Morse brings it across the midfield where he gets rocked and loses.
Dodge from up, which is more of a similarity, but for a while they're trying to get some work from behind with their attack at SCAD.
Errant pass goes out of bounds. It's going to be North Dakota State ball. That pass by Cole Whitworth intended for McManus. The referee's taking a look at the clock.
He's sitting on the table.
It's 2-0 Bison here sometime in the first period from Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Again, I'm Dan Matthews with color commentator Pete Van Dusen on the broadcast here at collegelax.tv. Clock's being kept on the sidelines now. Bison are going to inbound or start the play.
Chris Krapatis is down low, close defense.
He gives it up to Griffin. Griffin is going to give the ball up over the midfield stripe to Sam Morse. Setting the offense, Alex Veldhuis has it now for North Dakota State. Veldhuis on the far side of the field. Spin dodge, comes back the other direction. Veldhuis penetrates, he shoots. Nice feed into number 4, Kyle Sturgeon. Looks like a shot, but Sturgeon intercepts that, puts the ball on Cage.
Very nice backdoor cut on the part of Sturgeon. Good job cutting up above goal line extended from the X.
And a good backup there by SCAD to take possession of the ball on the shot by North Dakota State. Polka with it, he gives it up to Orgren. Orgren's gonna bring it upfield. We've got a timeout on the field. Your score with an unknown amount of time left. Oh, no, my fault. Ball changes possession to North Dakota State. Hubert has it up top. He gives it to Eartham. Eartham with the left-hand cradle on that right side. Swings it behind the cage. Cutting to the net is Ian Murphy. Shot goes wide, out of bounds, and a ball will belong to North Dakota State.
Nice righty rip. Sent a few fans sparing for some clear.
Sturgeon on the startup. Gives it up to Hubert. Hubert inside. Oh, what a great pass. And unable to convert on it was Matt Reese. And SCAD's going to come up with the ground ball. That's Eric Elmquist, the vacuum. Bringing it across, Matt Dean has it into the middle, shot on goal, and sitting right there just waiting to play catch is Ryan Freeman. Shot was by Dan Ogren. Freeman with it. Kicks it on the right wing to Sam Morse.
Very patient.
Morse puts it in Foley's stick, and Foley will set the offense for North Dakota State. Trying to do a little too much, I think there was Foley, huh, Pete?
Yeah, it looks that way. You know, I was going to comment before. Sorry, Dan. Very clear, very patient in their clearing efforts is NDSU, and then when they get down behind goal line, they're very quick to charge the goal.
Defensive game holding true to form right now between SCAD and North Dakota State. Polka with it, kicks it up top to Molinaro. Molinaro back down to McKay. And McKay's going to come around the cage on the near side. He gives it up to Matt Dean. Matt Dean drops it. Pat Griffin on the ride defensively for North Dakota State right now. Shelton Polka up top, kicks it around to Seacard. Seacard's going to set the offense from the top. Jeff McCormick's going to be there for the ride. Nice shift in defense. Seacard forced to give it up, and SCAD has to work it around. SCAD just can't get a shot off on this 10-man ride, but there it is. Goal, SCAD, Jordy McManus.
I'll tell you, Dan, that's the look you want. You want McManus getting in this game early and often, and that's exactly what they're doing. You start with a 1-4-1, you get rotation from the inside to the outside wings, and you're going to get big looks from these very good shooters.
With an unknown amount of time left in the first quarter, it's now 2-1 in favor of the Bison from North Dakota State.
Probably the best shot opportunity afforded by the NDSU defense to this point. Good job closing down on their close defense, but that one, McManus had to put it home. Still early, but a much-needed goal.
Seacard and Mills at the X. Procedure call on Seacard will give the ball to North Dakota State. North Dakota State has numbers, but an errant pass is going to bring the defense into the play for SCAD. Matt Reese working it around on the near side. Right-hand cradle, swarming defense by SCAD. SCAD swarming defense creates a ground ball and gives SCAD possession.
Still an awful lot of looks. NDSU is getting right on top of the crease. Those are some easy goals. SCAD's got to tighten up a little bit more on those, Dan.
Komite works on the clear. Possession on the high lob is Cole Whitworth for SCAD. His pass goes errant, out of bounds. Ball belongs to North Dakota State. Again, 2-1, North Dakota State with the lead here early in the game, late in the first quarter. Errant pass by North Dakota State gives the ball to Jordy McManus. That's not the man that North Dakota State wants to see with the ball.
A little bit of a rushed errant clearing pass is now giving the ball right into SCAD's hands to control.
McKay being ridden hard by Pat Griffin. Ball out of bounds off of McKay. And it'll be Griffin on the restart for North Dakota State. Approximately 2 minutes left to number 8 seed, North Dakota Bison, with a 2-1 over the SCAD Bees. And he's going to give it up to his attack, Kyle Sturgeon.
Aggressive clear on the part of NDSU.
Ian Murphy with possession, kicks it back out up top to Whitworth on the defense for SCAD. Lots of stick movement. Clean first quarter. No penalties on either team thus far. Hubert gets a nice pick, but a nice switch on defense by Dan Ogren.
Good job to SCAD on the part of their midfielders to not try to allow those midfielders to dodge from up top, Dan.
Murphy with it, gets it inside. The feet up top. Nice save by Creighton Polka. It was a great feed on the inside to Alex Flock. SCAD's coming back the other direction. Ogren with the carry. That's a timeout for SCAD. They trail right now 2-1 to North Dakota State. I'm Dan Matthews with Pete Van Dusen. A great first quarter of play thus far.
Yeah, we got a great quarter of lacrosse under our belts here, Dan. And what's very impressive to see is just how many looks that this NDSU team is getting on the crease.
Lots of looks, and they're clean looks. Clean looks, it's not doing it quite as tight. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the first period of action. You're watching the MCLA National Championships on College Lax TV. I'm Dan Matthews with Pete Van Dusen. SCAD trailing North Dakota State 2-1 here on field number 10 at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. An incredible complex that they have out here for these kinds of events. And they have some really big events, including at the end of the week. There's going to be a whole bunch of kids here playing for their national or local championship.
Yeah, that's great. And I'll be on here in the capacity of a coach, coaching some third graders. But what a great facility this is. You know, despite cold, little chilly weather, some wind, they just do it really very, very well here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park, Dan.
The final year of the existing 3-year contract for the MCLA here at Dick's, and I sure hope they bring it back. Sherson has the ball for SCAD. He kicks it inside. That's McManus. Shot the goal for SCAD.
Fantastic out to in cut by McManus. That's the way they want. You're starting to see the defense start to challenge the dodging midfielders from up top. They know that everything is going to originate from up top, and McManus still left alone. Got a nice shot.
Trading short runs here. Let's take a look at this feed down to McManus and the high left-handed shot going high to low, and it just squeezes by Freeman. Seacard and Mills at the X. 4 seconds to go in the first quarter. Seacard's gonna win this face-off, and time's gonna run out. At the end of 1, we're knotted at 2.
Your score at the end of the first quarter.
You're watching the MCLA National Championships on College Lax TV. We'll be right back after this message from STX.
Davenport 3, Utah.
Hello, everybody. You are watching the MCLA National Championships here on College Lax TV.
We're about to start the second quarter after a great first period. Knotted at 2 between SCAD and North Dakota State. A reminder that we'll be selecting one outstanding player from today's ball game as the College Lax Player of the Game. One deserving player will win a prize pack from College Lax. Again, Dan Matthews, Pete Van Dusen, here on the action for you from Dick's Sporting Goods Park in this 8-9 matchup in the MCLA Division II National Championship Tournament. Cardin Mills at the X. That one's going to be won by North Dakota State. Max Foley has it. He dishes it down low. That's Flock. Flock with a nice shot and an even better save by Polka. Ground ball is going to be scooped up by Elmquist, who's going to bring it across midfield for the SCAD Bees. And I don't know if you notice, people, when they're on defense, they do look like a swarm of bees.
Well, it's a transition game, and here's Elmquist with the ball.
Elmquist shot goes wide. It's backed up easily by Jordy McManus. So far, maybe our player of the game with 2 goals to bring SCAD back into it.
I'd agree, but more play on the part of Elmquist to handle the transition game for the SCAD Bees. We could be calling his name too.
This time he loses possession of the ball. That's going to be picked up by Polka. Polka's a quick little book. He sets the offense, brings it up top, and gives it off to Molinaro. SCAD slowing the play down now. Again, SCAD is the Savannah College of Art and Design out of Savannah, Georgia. Head coach Humming says that the opponents like to say that they're being beat by a bunch of finger painters. Find that one rather humorous. A great save there by Creighton Polka.
Nice.
Not Creighton Polka, I'm sorry. That was Ryan Freeman for North Dakota State.
Nice high shot from Scherson. Freeman beat him that time.
Flock, we'll refer to him as both Peter and Alex during today's broadcast. Peter his first name, Alex his nickname. And right now, Peter Alex Flock has the ball circling the cage. Left-handed shot goes wide, short side, and out of bounds. It'll remain with North Dakota State. Matt Reese is going to bring it inbounds. Again, a recap of those STX keys of the game.
Well, for the NDSU Bison, you know, as we said, ground balls, and as it's turning out, so far, transition and ground balls, they're staying to form. Ride and contain. You'll see a 10-man, you'll try to see a 10-man clear and ride on the part of the Bison, and we're seeing that as well with Freeman being an active part of that.
That SCAD defense swarming, knocks the ball loose. Transitioning onto the offensive end. They've got numbers. Errant pass. Hits the ground, rolls out of bounds. That ball's going to belong to the Bison.
One last comment on the Bison points of the game that we did not mention, Dan, is they're getting an awful lot of looks very down and close to the crease. And SCAD's got to be able to recognize that and come out ready to address that in the second half.
2-2 here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. 12 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the first half. It's a nice ride by Trey McKay, but Hubert beats it and gets the ball onto the offensive end. North Dakota State working the ball around. Foley has it. Now it's in the hands of Eartham. Flock behind the cage, circling the wagons, kicks it up top. There's a shot to save. Nice save by Polka, and SCAD's going the other direction. Elmquist, again that vacuum, brings the ball across. This SCAD ball club is the epitome of you do not have to be big to play this game.
No, absolutely not. And I'll tell you, the speed and the endurance that they are showing, and they are staying right with a very big and aggressive and shifty team in the NDSU Bison too, Dan.
Polka, and yes, the Polkas are brothers. Sheldon on the offense, and Creighton in the goal. SCAD working the ball around the cage. Coach Mike Cummings said patience was going to be key, and they're being very patient. Great move by Scherz into the cage. He gets the shot off, bounces it high up over the cage, and Freeman has it.
Left him alone up top. That's the right dodge to take. Just didn't get a good shot off.
Freeman's feed's going to roll out of bounds on this turf. Got to be a little bit more careful on the turf. The ball's going to travel a little bit further, faster if it hits it.
Yeah, much truer bounce. You're right.
Polka's going to restart play for the Bees. McKay, checked behind the cage by Chris Kryptos. Ball comes free and Kryptos picks up the ground ball. North Dakota State will look to set it up on their offense. Tough ride by SCAD trying to get the ball across for North Dakota State.
Also a patient clear on the part of the Bison too, getting it in the hands of their attack while they get their personnel on.
Lots of errant passes. Both teams need to settle it in a little bit, play their game, and let the chips fall where they may. Reese with it behind the cage. He gives it to Sturgeon. Sturgeon up top to Foley. Foley again, the transfer from NYIT, top 5 D2 program last year. Foley switches hands, he shoots and scores. Out of position on that one was Creighton Polka. I'm not sure what he was doing.
Got to respect the Dodger from up top, and one move, and it looked like his defender fell off of him, and you can't leave him alone, especially when he's got the ball. Nice change of hands, good quick shot to the low left-hand corner.
North Dakota State goal scored by number 19, Max Foley.
Let's take a look at this
Foley
again.
assisted.
Good switch here to right hand, good shot down in the lower hand corner. That's Max Foley, making it 3-2 Bison.
Great face dodge to get him inside. This face-off's gonna go the way of, nobody seems to want it. Finally, SCAD picks it up, that's Shelton Polka. Left-hand cradle with a lot of speed coming around the net. He's gonna settle it in at the X behind the cage. Give it off to McKay. McKay to McQuaid up top. Over to Molinaro. Behind the cage is McManus. Gonna swing it around one more time. Ogren's got the ball. Looking at him is Mills. Ogren brings it around the cage. Nice transfer of defense by North Dakota State. Going to force SCAD to reset. 8.5 to go in the first half. 3-2, Bison. This pass is going to go behind Molinaro and out of bounds. Ball will belong to North Dakota State.
A little bit of a forced pass from McQuaid up top. That's the look that they've been successful with when you shift from a two-man up top, two middies up top, to a one-man up top. They found success by having 4 guys above goal line extended. Not that time, as an errant pass will now go to NDSU.
Freeman's going to get the carry work across the midfield stripe, and as he does, follow College Lex on Twitter. View the latest tweets from the MCLA community, as well as breaking news from College Lex at twitter.com/College Lex. Dan Matthews and Pete Van Dusen from chilly Dick's Sporting Goods Park. It's one of the places in this city where the wind is just always blowing.
It's an awful lot of lacrosse here, but not many trees to block the wind, Dan, but that's okay because we got lacrosse going on.
You know what? There's some decent crowds at each of the fields that surround us.
That's right.
And that's nice to see. College Lax is alive and well in Denver, Colorado. We're going to have a slash to the head coming up on SCAD. And that's going to be Dan Comite going off the field. Should be a 60-second slash, shouldn't it?
Should be a 60-second slash. If I remember correctly, that might be the only penalty we've seen so far in a very clean played, but very aggressive, fast-paced first half so far.
SCAD down a man. Now we're going to see how that defense really swarms as the Bison started up. Reese has it behind the cage for NDSU. Up top to Flock. Flock to Sturgeon, working it around. Oh, nice look from Flock to the inside. The ball goes a little high off the stick of Reese and out of bounds.
Tried to catch Cody Horoff hanging out on the wing, and that was almost a resulting goal by Mr. Reese standing on the crease. Not this time.
Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. You can't do that. There's no reason for it. SCAD had the ball possession and had the opportunity to run some of the penalty time off, just throws it away.
Yeah, a fast-paced team sometimes can fall victim to that. You just got to take a deep breath and not let it turn into a panic situation.
Kryptos for NDSU, covered by Polka. Kryptos is going to get it up the field to Flock. Flock to Veldhuis, back up top to Flock. Across the field and back in again. North Dakota State with real good ball movement here midway through the second quarter. Another errant pass, but catching up to it is going to be Sturgeon. And his pass is going to go out of bounds, intended for either Murphy or Hubert, depending on how you look at it. That's right between the two of them.
That's a good kill on the part of the SCAD Bees here. They really they could not afford, given the tenor of this game, to fall 2 goals behind just before half, Dan.
Again, 6.5 minutes to go. North Dakota State with a 3-2 lead here in the first half from Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Elmquist to Comite, who's out of the box after serving his 60 seconds. Griffin and Polka. Back over to Freeman, the goalie, who kicks it over to Chris Kryptos. Kryptos with a nice pass. Gets it to Foley. Foley gives it off to Eartham. Eartham with the left-handed cradle to get it to the middle of the field. North Dakota State settling in on offense. Veldhuis has it on the far side. Back up to Foley, face dodge, circles back around, gives it to Veldhuis. Veldhuis covered by Whitworth. Pass goes out of bounds off of SCAD. Cody Horhoff closest to the ball, but it belongs to North Dakota State. on the errant deflection.
Nice job getting his stick up in the lane as Cody Horoff. He blocked a potential catch and shoot on that last series. NDSU very content to just sit and be a little bit patient. They've got the 1-goal lead with 5 minutes left. So it looks like they're trying to slow things down, slow the tempo down around a bit, and get the looks that they want.
Veldhuis, left-hand cradle, gives the ball to Foley, who loses it out of his stick on the cradle. Covered tight by Komite. Peter Flock with the ball. SCAD running a man-to-man. Whitworth on Foley. Elmquist on Sturgeon. Ebert comes off the sidelines. He's going to start the ball from the top. There's the screen. Ebert maintains possession.
Got to keep it in the box. Where's the call? Elmquist with the ball.
Elmquist with the pass to the middle. Stripped of the ball is Horoff. North Dakota State's going to win this ground ball battle. Reese has it. Reese is going to come around the cage. He loses the ball behind the cage. Slipping but being called for a push was Komite on the Reese slip. That's going to give the ball to North Dakota State. And Peter, or shall we call him Alex, Flock.
Let's see as the clock winds down how patient this NDSU team is becoming, or how they want to knock on the door before halftime. Well, I spoke too soon.
So much for knocking on the door. North Dakota State loses the ball out of bounds. Elmquist bringing it up for SCAD. Kicks it to the middle to Horoff. Horoff brings it across. That long stick. He's got the feed. Shot, score! Number 10, Shelton Polka.
Dan, I'll tell you, I've been waiting to see what Polka's going to do, and in my mind, he's the one that needs to break out. He's the shiftiest guy. He's the one that's commanding a single pole on him every time, and unless he starts getting into the action, I think that SCAD is not going to be able to do what they want to do.
Starting all the way at the top, what a great feed coming from Elmquist. I mean, sorry, that was Horoff.
Nice dodge and shoot.
Seacard and Mills, and this one belongs to Seacard. Both teams having a little bit of a problem scooping up those ground balls. A lot of popping out of the stick. Here goes Polka. On the defense is Morse. 3-3, 3:20 to go in the first half. SCAD and North Dakota State here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. That's McManus. McManus is being ridden by, we'll have to check our roster. There goes McManus, he shoots, nice save Freeman. And the ground ball is going to be scooped up by Pat Griffin for North Dakota State. Nice aggressive play by Scherson on the goalie, and the goalie pass goes errant ball in our box. Say hello, everybody. Nice hands, Pete.
Souvenir time. I don't get to keep it, though.
2.5 minutes to go in the first half. We're knotted at 3 in this matchup between number 8 and number 9. Great move by Scherson, but loses the ball out of his stick after a nice check. Scherson's going to pick up his own ground ball and give it off to Polka. SCAD seems to have some momentum here now.
Yes, they are. They're staying around the ground ball, Dan. Good things happen when you stay around them.
McManus with a nice swim move. Maintains possession and gives SCAD the opportunity to work the ball around for another shot. Resetting up top. Shot, goal by Mike McQuaid.
I'll tell you what, that is an excellent high dodge and some high cheese there from Mr. McManus. Just a few steps inside the restraining box line.
SCAD goal, scoreman number 7, Mike McQuaid.
Mike McQuaid with his first goal of the game.
Assistant.
As we said before, every time you want to dodge from up top, it's proven to be successful, and that time it was for the Bees. 4-3 SCAD, just under 2 left.
Face-off's about 50-50 between the Bison and SCAD. By Molly, Mike Molinaro. North Dakota works it back out. Hubert looks for the face dodge, gives off to Veldhuis. Shot goes wide. Great positioning by Creighton Polka. About a minute to go here in the first half. North Dakota State with the ball. And we've got a timeout for the Bison. I'm Dan Matthews. Color commentator Pete Van Dusen has left me all alone up here as he's going to be down on the field to interview the coach who is behind at this point in time. You're watching the MCLA National Championships here on College Lax TV. We'll be right back after this message from the MCLA.
The Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association is an organization of non-NCAA college lacrosse programs representing student athletes on 213 teams in 2 divisions in 10 member conferences across the United States and Canada. We are the MCLA.
Welcome back to Dick's Sporting Goods Park. I'm Dan Matthews. Pete Van Dusen has exited the building, folks, and will be down on the field with one of our head coaches as we enter halftime. A minute here to go, 1 minute and 3 seconds. SCAD with their first lead of the game over the North Dakota State University Bison. And this game is exactly what I expected it to be, and we talked about it early on. A low-scoring, tight-fought game with 2 very high-quality defenses, and neither team really getting the shot that they want, and as such, a 4-3 score as we get close to halftime. North Dakota State is going to start the ball in play, and it's going to be Ian Murphy, and he's going to be covered by, Murphy just lost the pass, guarded by Martin. North Dakota State picks it up. We're inside a minute to play. Here come numbers for North Dakota State. Inside to Reese, to Flock. Flock shoots and scores. We're tied at 4.
North Dakota State.
What a great job of using the advantage of the numbers for North Dakota State. Knotting the game at 4, 45 seconds to go. Taking a look at the instant replay, just a couple of rapid-fire passes.
Number 15, Peter Flock.
Inside, a bounce pass to Flock, who goes up underneath. Goalie Creighton Polka for the score. Again, 45 seconds left in the first half. Worth squared at 4. Face-off goes the way of SCAD and Justin Seacart. Eric Elmquist with the clear. He's going to go inside with that long pole. He's got a nice feed, and the pass is deflected away by Freeman. Picking it up is Shelton Polka, and we've got a timeout, SCAD. 4-4, 23 seconds left. Coach Mike Cummings wants a timeout to set up the offense for his Bees. Great action out at Dick's Sporting Goods Park thus far today. I know we've got other games going on. Dan Matthews back at Dick's Sporting Goods Park, awaiting the final 23 seconds of the first half of this thriller so far between North Dakota State and Savannah College of Art and Design. Little known fact about Savannah College of Art and Design is that one of the former players designed the MCLA logo just a few years back. Shelton Polka is going to start the play in motion for SCAD, and his pass is going to be picked off by Jeff McCormick for NDSU. McCormick looks for the feed inside, up top. We're looking, we've got another nice pass, and it's picked off by Eric Elmquist. 8 seconds left. Elmquist coming across the midfield stripe. He gets the pass off. There's not enough time to get the shot. 2-1. We're tied at 4 at the end of one half of play. Not 9-4 like it says. Those of you as a co-host and creator of Lacrosse Talk, North America's only talk show dedicated to the sport of lacrosse. Pete Van Dusen, my co-host on that show as well. Are dispersing to their respective sidelines, and we've got Pete Van Dusen live on the sidelines with Coach Mike Cummings.
Pete Van Dusen here with Coach Michael Cummings from SCAD. Coach, one of the closest played first halves I've ever seen. You know, a little bit slow to start, but it looks like that you know, transition has become a big element of this game and has kept you guys in the game.
That's right. As I said before, I feel confident that our post can bring the ball across, get us in something. The transition game has been good for us this season. We're hoping to continue to capitalize on that. We've got some guys, some poles that can bring it down, and they can take it themselves too. So we're looking for a little production from them, hopefully. Yeah,
number 11 Elmo is really being a big difference in the towards the end of the first half there. And from up in the booth, what it seems to me that the offense is being very successful dodging from up top. And if you were to get Polka and McManus a little bit more involved, dodging from the outside seems to be successful.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. We tend to have Trey McKay and Jordy McManus doing a lot of dodging from behind. We've had very good success with that because the guys like to collapse on someone like Jordy, and it's opening up things for guys on the crease. But we definitely need to get them dodging a little bit more, get the ball on their stick.
One last thing, Coach Cummings, you know, excellent thing. You guys are playing fast and furiously. What are you going to say to your team to get them ready for the second half against this Bison team?
Well, as I always tell the guys, I said, you know, we need to play fast but not push it. I think it was a John Wooden quote. You know, we've got to possess and wait for that opportunity and attack. My guys like to go, and it's fun to watch, but we need to win this possession game the second half.
Coach Cummings, thanks very much. Good luck in the second half.
Dan Matthews here. Again, our score 4-4 at halftime between SCAD and North Dakota State. You're watching the MCLA National Championships here on College Lax TV. We'll be back in about 5 minutes.
The Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association is an organization of non-NCAA college lacrosse programs representing student athletes on 213 teams in 2 divisions in 10 member conferences across the United States and Canada. We are the MCLA.
We're back at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Dan Matthews, Pete Van Dusen. We're tied at 4 in this 8-9 matchup between SCAD and North Dakota State. Some other action going on other fields. Dayton and Northern Colorado knotted at 4 at halftime. Davenport hammering Utah Valley University 9-3, and Western Oregon up 8-7 over Westminster. Those all at halftime. Again, I'm Dan Matthews with Pete Van Dusen, and a quick look at the halftime stats, Pete.
Yeah, a quick look at goals here, Dan. We've got from North Dakota State University, we have Flock with 2 goals. We've got Veltmeister with 1 goal, and Max Foley to tally up 4. For SCAD, 2 for McManus, and 1 for number 10, Shelton Polka. 1 goal and 1 assist. We don't have that goal just before the half, but should be timed up. Oh, that's right. Thank you very much. Mike McQuaid was the 4th goal to not assist.
And we're underway in the second half here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park, and North Dakota State University comes out with the ball to start the second half. Off the face-off by David Mills. He's immediately stripped of it by Secord, who throws the ball away. Ground ball is going to be picked up. We're going to have a loose ball push. And the ball goes out of bounds, North Dakota State ball. Chris Kryptos with the ball for North Dakota State. Kicks it up to Sam Morse. Ball being settled in by Jake Huber. He's going to set the offense for the Bison on their first offensive possession of the second half. Veldhuis has it, covered by Ogren for SCAD.
Big goal by Flock at the end of the first half, Dan. Let's see how patient that NDSU comes out in the second half.
North Dakota State really settling down. 4-4, just underway in the second half. North Dakota State and SCAD. Pass to Foley, inside to Matt Reese. He shoots and scores on the new goalie, Wade Weinbrenner, for SCAD.
Exactly the same formula that started this game, Dan, with a nice pass down low right on top of the crease. Big quick goal for the Bison here to make it 5-4, just inside of the start of the second half.
Derek Hoosman and Justin Seacard now at the face-off
North
X.
Dakota State goal was scored by number 18,
for the Bison
Max Reed.
and the Bees, respectively.
Assisted by number 19, Max Foley.
Seacard's going to win this one and pick up his own ground ball. Elmquist gets the pass from Seacard and will carry it across the midfield stripe. 5-4 in favor of the Bison early in the second half from Dick's Sporting Goods Park.
McQuaid up top. Let's see how the dodging is going to take place for SCAD to begin the second half.
McQuaid gives it off to Whitworth, who's going to kick it over to Scherson, who just came off the bench. Scherson with the dodge up top. Left-handed shot, sails high. Backing it up was Trey McKay for the Bees. Whitworth gives it up to Polka. Polka's going to use the quick dodge, come down the right wing. Takes it inside with the spin dodge, gives it up to McManus. McManus has the ball. Spins inside, shoots wide to the near side, backed up by Shelton Polka.
better job on SCAD's part for controlling the ball here, Dan. They have to be a little bit more patient, make sure that they're getting good looks. They can't afford to fall behind.
SCAD with possession. Loses the ball to North Dakota State. That ball is stripped but picked up by Jeff McCormick across the midfield stripe, and it goes out of bounds. It's going to be SCAD's ball. Injured North Dakota players, Matt Melchior, down on the North Dakota sidelines, writhing in a little bit of pain. Looks like he might have taken a shot to the gut. That's my initial feeling.
Right on the sidelines there, Dan. Melchior has played a good role here as a long stick midfielder, so let's give him a chance to get.
With 12 to go in the third period. Welcome back to the MCLA National Tournament on collegelax.tv. I'm Dan Matthews with my color commentator Pete Van Dusen, and we're here with North Dakota State holding a 5-4 lead in the third period over SCAD.
Very balanced game, Dan. Very balanced game so far. Let's see, a very patient offense on the part of NDSU. Let's see if they continue that trend or they try to push the ball a little bit towards the looks towards the crease like they've been getting for most of their shots.
Veldhuis to Flock. Flock's going to work it around the cage. Great cover D by Komite. Komite all over Flock and strips the ball. Ball sails high. Trying to one-time it on the inside was Matt Reese. We've got a push, and it's going to remain North Dakota State ball. Working the ball around is Sturgeon. Sturgeon inside, nice, quick trigger by Matt Reese behind Wade Weinbrenner for SCAD. And again, another 2-goal lead opened up.
Again, Dan,
North Dakota State.
Sorry, Dan, again, that's the formula. It seems to be working. You get a high dodge coming in from top of the box or left or right side, and it seems that the SCAD defense is either shifting too quickly or they're forgetting the backdoor cuts. That time it was Mr. Reese standing on the left side of the crease, put it home behind the goalie. It is now 6-4 Bison.
Our longest streak of the game puts North Dakota State up by 2. They're on a 3-goal run over the last 6 minutes of play.
Seacard doing an excellent job on the faceoffs, keeping SCAD in the game as far as transition goes.
McManus with the ball behind the cage for SCAD. SCAD working through their switches. Dean and Scherson coming onto the field for SCAD. That's Dean. Shot is deflected. That goes out of bounds. North Dakota State ball.
Fantastic hustle by Krapatos. That's the type of hustle you need to make a difference in this game. Very tight game it is.
Chris Krapatos with the inbounds. Gives it to Freeman. Freeman's going to carry it over. Launches it downfield. That ball's going to be intercepted by Elmquist. Elmquist gives it up to Weinbrenner. Weinbrenner feeds it up top. Looking for the clear. Dan Ogren for SCAD. Ogren brings it into the box. Gives it up to McManus. McManus with a screen up top for McQuaid. McQuaid, if you remember, on the face dodge early in the game. He switches lefty.
Nice pick, good slide on the part of the Bison.
McQuaid carries it in, dishes it back out up top to Polka. Polka with the big cradle, fakes the pass, shot wide, backed up nicely by Trey McKay.
If you're gonna shoot, you better have somebody back behind the cage, and that time he had him in Trey McKay.
Did you guys get a work? Did you get a work for that? Yeah, they did. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm so glad I got working.
McKay with the left-hand cradle brings it up top. His pass is deflected. It's going to be a fight for the ground ball. Long pull, short pull. Who wins? Almost out of bounds. Nice save, but right into the hands of Sam Ward. Nice hustle by Polka, heading out of bounds. Nope, that was McManus. I'm sorry. But it was a great save. Want to shout out a quick hello to Mike Foley's father, listening to us out in North Carolina on College Lax TV. Got a chance to meet Max's, got a chance to meet his grandson's parents, Mike and Mary Foley, before the game.
Good slide on the part of SCAD defense this time. It looks like they're doing a better job sliding down, settling down, and keeping a nice bubble around the goalie.
McKay's got the man. Shot. Oh, nice save by Freeman on the fancy shot by Shelton Polka.
Good look by McKay, down low to Polka. Just didn't finish that time. That's the look you want. Can't leave Polka all alone.
Polka with the start high, swung the stick underneath and was shooting low to high, and it just sailed over the top corner of the cage.
If you play a 4, you're for sure. Okay, just talking.
So McKay will get the restart. He's covered by Griffin.
Okay. So
Up top to McQuaid. SCAD settling themselves down. 8:41 left to go in the third quarter. The Bees trail by 2, 6-4. McQuaid gets the pick from Polka. Buys him just a little bit of space, but not quite enough to make a good move toward the net. Using his speed, circles the cage, gets it inside. Shot! Wide left by Scherson for SCAD.
Very good job by Baumgartner to keep McQuaid from making that dodge up top. It was clear that that's the look that SCAD wanted to make, and he shut him off.
Now it's McManus working one-on-one with Kryptos. Double eights. Then we've got a shot in the goal by Trey McKay.
Nice job, inside now cut. Trey McKay finishing off an excellent pass on the part of Jordan McManus. Good job, good timing on a goal, very much needed by SCAD in a tight matchup. 6-5, NDSU still holds the lead. 8 minutes left in this third period here.
That ends the 3-goal run by NDSU, and it's SCAD's first goal in just about 10 minutes.
Here, we'll take a look at it again. You've got McManus doing a one-on-one dodge from behind, circles back over Kapatis. Nice pass right to the near pipe, and McKay puts it home. Very important goal, like I said before. Good job, good look, good movement on the attack. 6-5 Bison.
McManus with the one-handed scoop. Scoops it a little bit too far back over his right shoulder and out of bounds. Backed up nicely by Polka. It remains SCAD ball. Whitworth up top. Gives it up to Matt Dean. Dean to Ogren. Ogren down low to McManus. McManus left-hand cradle coming around the cage. He's got a step. Shoots wide, picked up behind the cage. That's Polka. Had a nice feed on the inside. And the shot and the save by Freeman.
Excellent save by Freeman. McKay knocking on the door again.
Freeman holding true to form, allowing a little over 6 goals per game. We're at 5 thus far. Midway through the second period. No, it's the second half. Third quarter.
You got it, Ken. Now down in the offensive zone, let's see. Bison haven't controlled the ball down here in a while. Let's see that if they're going to look to settle the ball down or if they're going to look to attack the crease sooner than later.
Fully up top over to Veldhuis. Veldhuis takes it out on the far wing. Veldhuis at GLE, far wing. He's covered by Ogren. Veldhuis puts a move on Ogren, gets by him but loses the ball. We've got a push on SCAD. It's going to be North Dakota State ball.
Ogren, an important trail check that time. Got beaten on the wing by Veldhuis, but managed to trail check to keep him from passing.
Little over 6 minutes to go. 6-5 North Dakota State in this battle between 8 and 9. The entire Grand Valley lacrosse team watching this one as they're going to face the winner tomorrow. Nice feed inside, unable to handle it, and it sails wide.
Good look, good recovery by SCAD's defense that time.
Foley has it off the left wing or the near side. Feeds it inside to Sturgeon. Sturgeon gives it up to Flock for the shot. Sails wide, Weinbrenner in good position.
Good lefty crank by Flock just off the mark.
There's our restart. Horoff clears it for SCAD. Picks it over to Ogren. Both teams with a little case of the jitters today, it looks like. A lot of ground balls, a lot of missed passes that probably shouldn't be missed. But this is tournament play.
A lot of stake here, Dan.
Lose and go home. Ooh. Shot on the near side, on the far side by Trey McKay. Sails wide, backed up by goalie Ryan Freeman. And North Dakota State will take possession.
McKay angry with himself for that shot. Probably could have used a step or two to increase his angle. But once again, Freeman, an excellent save.
Chris Kripatos gives it up to Foley. Foley's going to carry it into the box for North Dakota State. .440 in the third. 6-5 Bison. Set the play up top with Hubert. He's looking to go one-on-one with Whitworth. Hubert with a nice face dodge, gets the pass inside. It sails wide of Flock and out of bounds. We're going to have a penalty, it looks like, on Cole Whitworth.
Managed to get a push on that one. That's going to work to NDSU's favor, of course. But obviously, they're still trying to dodge from up top. That look was to the wing and just didn't make the pass connection or the shot.
Whitworth into the box. SCAD's going to be a man down. Sturgeon with the ball, kicks it up top to Hubert. Veldhuis picks it up. Hubert with the low bounce shot. Nice save by Weinbrenner. Never lost a beat on it.
Nice look, a little bit of a rush shot on Hubert's part.
If the trends hold true, SCAD should get the next goal. Wide open, they've got numbers. 3-on-1, shot, save. Never gets behind the line. Great job by Freeman to stay with it. That was one where I think they needed one more pass.
Almost a very nice call there, Kreskin the Magnificent.
SCAD's gonna ground ball. Smith. A little called name so far today, the sophomore from Pasadena, Maryland. 5'8", 220.
SCAD doing an excellent job picking up their defense. That time Flock guarded with a short ball and still didn't manage to get a pass or a shot off that he really wanted. Nice job recovering on SCAD's part on defense.
Polka running more surrounding circles. Polka from Howe, Texas. Feed down low. Freeman has it. SCAD working the ball around. Scherson has it, spins inside. Nice move by Scherson. Kicks it up top to Molinaro. Molinaro drops it. There to pick it up for North Dakota State is Griffin. Griffin loses it out of bounds. Ball will remain in the hands of SCAD. Dan Matthews, Pete Van Dusen, and we're pleased to be joined now by St. Thomas head coach Moosberger. Coach, what's the key to your run for another championship?
I think the key for us is just got to keep playing our game. I mean, we're a very athletic team. We've been here for many years now. Dix Park is almost like a home game for us now. We've been here for a while. And I think we just got to keep doing our thing and stay healthy.
Coach, I had the privilege of sitting in front of your boys at the University of Denver game. What did they take away from a game like that when they're watching the big boys out there playing?
When we found out we were coming here and we found out there was going to be a playoff game, I was the first one out at 2 o'clock grabbing tickets because I think it's critical for our guys to see a game played at another level. One of the biggest takeaways that we took from there is how patient they were on offense, how hard they worked off the ball. We tend to try to go to the net too soon and not take advantage of letting things come to us. Whereas the biggest thing in the Division I game is those guys are highly athletic and they wait for their opportunities, and they're there, they finish. And we really wanted our guys to go take it on both sides of the ball. Both Villanova and Denver did it. And they all took that away.
Coach, you were riding a 50-plus game winning streak as you came into the season, and you got taken down twice this year. What kind of thing?
For some of our guys, it's been a while since they saw a loss. And we're young this year. We knew that it wasn't going to be as easy in the past. For the last couple of years, we kind of put gas in the bus and let it drive. This year, we had to be a lot better teachers and start teaching some of the young guys how to play the game the way we play it. I was hoping to go undefeated, but we knew it was going to be tough. It's not easy in the Division II anymore to go be an undefeated team, and it's getting better and better as you see around us today. So it's we look, undefeated's nice to have, but right in the end, as long as we win on Saturday in the stadium over there, we'll be happy.
I spent the entire tournament out here in the rain last year watching the Tommies win that championship. And as I look at it and I'm watching the big picture, last year it really was yours to lose. Yeah. This year it looks like there's 4 or 5, maybe even 6 teams in the mix that really couldn't win this title.
Yep. No, and that comes back to how deep finally Division II is getting. It's not, there's not 1 or 2 teams that, we'll just go to Denver and watch the 2 teams play. We got a great game going on here versus SCAD and NDSU. Grand Valley State was a great opponent for us in the middle of the year. They're the team to beat, I think. So the target's off us. We just got to play our game.
Outstanding. Coach Moosberger, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Coach Moosberger from the St. Thomas Tommies. We're 6-5 at the end of 3. Dan Matthews with Pete Van Dusen. You're watching the MCLA National Championships here on College Lax TV. We'll be right back after this commercial message from the MCLA.
Featuring all climate performance technology.
The Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association is an organization of non-NCAA college lacrosse programs representing student athletes on 213 teams in 2 divisions, in 10 member conferences, across the United States and Canada. We are the MCLA.
Welcome back to the MCLA Division II National Championships. This matchup between 8 seed North Dakota State, number 9 seed SCAD, North Dakota State, holding a slim 1-goal margin with 15 minutes left to play.
We are getting ready to ramp up for a very exciting fourth quarter here, Dan. 15 minutes left, 6-5 game. The Bison from NDSU holding the slimmest of margins, and it is going to come down to the end. We have a lot to do here other than call the game. We've got to find out if there's any one player that's standing out more than the other. And I'll tell you, in a close matchup like this, Dan, it's certainly going to be a tough decision to make.
Right now, I'd have to give it to the entire NDSU defense, holding SCAD's shot count down, and if you're not shooting, you're not scoring.
Yeah, absolutely. On the other hand, though, if we're talking NDSU, I'm looking at guys like Foley and Reese and Flock who are making things happen. But you can't forget Freeman. Freeman has come up very big on a very prolific scoring team in SCAD. So let's see what unfolds here in the fourth quarter. Again, Seacard winning the faceoff here.
That battle could prove to be huge as we head deep into the fourth quarter of play. Cody Horoff has it, kicks it down to Shelton Polka. Polka works it over to McKay. McKay's going to settle it in at the X behind the net. Swing wide up top to McQuaid. McQuaid drops the pass. Digging for the ground ball. McQuaid's diving for it. That ball's going to go out of bounds off of SCAD, North Dakota State ball, holding that slim 1-goal lead.
Yeah, a little sloppy passing, and they're going to have to tighten up. They're running out of minutes to be able to do that, but they've still got some time.
Pat Griffin, which seems to be the norm for NDSU, will start the play for the Bison. You know, I gotta say, if you're not talking about the officials, it's a great game.
Fantastic, Dan. I think we're still only at one or two penalties. While we were talking to Coach, we missed another one, but we're not talking many infractions at all during this game.
I think we're 3 or 4, 1 or 2 on each side. There's a shot that sails wide, backed up very nicely by Flock. The officials doing a great job with this game. They took control from the outset, and both teams really knew what to expect. And not to mention, it's been very cleanly played. It's not quite the bitter rivalry that you have between some of these teams. Like tomorrow, we have the potential of a Colorado State matchup, which will prove to be very, very physical.
Those two teams have seen each other quite a bit this year.
As the ball, Elmquist, we'll just come over.
I'll tell you what, he's my man right now for SCAD. He's a difference maker, and like you said, if defense is keeping shots from being had by the SCAD team, without Elmquist's ground balls, they're not even getting many looks at all on offense.
Nice wrap check and a strip by Veldhuis. Gives the ball back to North Dakota State, but only temporarily. And Ogren picks up Veldhuis' loose ball behind the North Dakota State net. Simple things, simple things. You cannot drop passes like that.
Still going to be SCAD's ball, though, in the corner as once personnel gets on.
In a 1-goal game, you have to take care of the ball. As I'm sure our spotter, Ryan Swikowski, would attest to, you must take care of the ball at this point in the game. Ryan, a long stick midi from Grand Valley. Grand Valley coming into the tournament again with the number 1 seed. And Ryan's had a bird's eye view to scout this one for his team. He can tell you what everybody likes to do on that field right now. What a great save! Beautiful shot and goal by Shelton Polka on the feed by the little man, Derek Scherson, who stands 5'7", 155 from Woodbury, Minnesota.
Fantastic look by Derek Scherson. He's just been an absolute workhorse this afternoon. It's these role players that are going to turn out to be a big difference here. Looking down for Polka, who is just standing there right on the corner. Fantastic look.
Take
Here
a
it
look
is
at
again.
it again. What a great feed from Scherson over to Polka.
Nice spin dodge, lefty look, standing right alone. Good fake. Polka finishes 6-6, knotted up with 12:24 left in the fourth.
We've got a play on, but we're going to have a push. That's on SCAD and NDSU ball. We're tied at 6 with 12:19 to go in the fourth. Max Foley gives it up to Mills. Back up top to Foley to start the offense for the Bison. The Bison and the Bees. I love this matchup. What a great game it's been. Everything an 8-9 matchup should be, whether it's here in the NCAA men's basketball tournament or what should be a collegiate football tournament someday. The 8-9 matchup proving to be outstanding. Never mind the commentary from the play-by-play guy.
And that, well, mobile phone users are invited to check out the brand new College Lax mobile site. College Lax Mobile gives you on-the-go access to the latest MCLA scores and schedules. College Lax content, the weekly College Lax radio show, Prodigy MCLA coaches polls, plus the popular @CollegeLax Twitter feed. Check it out at www.collegelaxusmobile on your favorite mobile device.
Matt Dean has it up top for SCAD.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dan, the SCAD team is getting some excellent defensive play from their short stick midfielders, and that is proving to be a big difference.
And there's a goal. That one by Derek Scherson. And right now, he may have to be the player of the game.
Well, you know, that being said, he is an absolute dynamo right now. And while I was just talking about the defense from the short stick midfielders, these role players like Scherson, short stick, who is just dodging and scoring at will. Fantastic dodge from up top.
Great job by Scherson on the goal, giving his team a 7-6 lead. That's SCAD's second lead of the game.
What a save.
Oh, and coming right back for North Dakota State was Flock on the goal, putting it in behind Weinbrenner as he hits the turf.
Fantastic. That's an amazing way to run the break. Excellent job by Seacard to win the faceoff, but in doing so, flips the ball to a Bison player who runs the break perfectly, and Flock finishes after his stuff. Here's the replay. Nice job by Weinbrunner, picking up, follow that ground ball. Good finish by Flock at a very important time, knotting up at 7.
It's our 5th lead change of the game. That's our 5th tie of the game. 4 lead changes. We've got a flag down on the field. This one's going against SCAD.
Looks like he might be calling an unsportsmanlike conduct, maybe grabbing the ball, maybe palming the ball. He's got that. So Z-Card will sit.
You can get away with it sometimes, but not all the time.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. That has been an absolute battle among battles here all afternoon here.
If you touch with your hands, 1 minute.
Now we're going to start with Sturgeon up at the top of the box, right at the center.
A new collegiate rule this year that if you do touch it with your hand at all, it's a 1-minute unsportsmanlike penalty. North Dakota State working it around. Murphy has it. Kicks it to Hubert. Up top, Flock has it. Left-handed shot. That was seen all the way by Weinbrenner. We're still knotted at 7. Weinbrenner's pass gets away from him. He's going to get lucky on this one. He's going to be able to go scoop up the ground ball and start it over again. Picked up by Komite. Komite gets the clear. Ball batted down by NDSU and Pat Griffin. Griffin on the turf, out of bounds. That ball belongs to SCAD.
Good job riding by Dan Ogren. A little bit of sloppy passing, but you got to be careful in transition. You got to secure the ball, possess the ball.
with a little over a minute to go on the field behind us, we have a 13-11 lead for Westminster over Davenport.
Good look by McManus. He's looking to dodge. Oh, good job collapsing in by the Bison. McManus was buzzing around the cage. No shot there.
Here on our field, 7-7, SCAD and NDSU. Feed inside, picked off by goalie Ryan Freeman. Freeman with the clear, has his man McCormick. McCormick slips and falls. SCAD's gonna pick this one up. Yes, SCAD ball inside, McManus shoots and scores.
Fantastic. Paid the price at the end of that, but again, loose balls, you got to secure the ground ball, and that time Scherson also buzzing around that ground ball. He's just been an absolute dynamo. McManus scoops up the ball and finishes. Here's the instant replay here. We got it. See, with a good job jumping on the ride by Scherson, fantastic job making him lose the ball. You got to hold on to that, or at least find an open man. Scherson sparking the break again, then ultimately flips the ball to McManus. Good job.
Number 8, Jordy McManus.
Timeout on the field. 8-7 SCAD with 8:58 left to go in the fourth quarter. You're watching the MCLA National Championships here on College Lax TV. We'll be right back after this commercial message from STX.
Seasons may change. My game is still
The same. Introducing the Surgeon STX, featuring all climate performance technology.
The Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association is an organization of non-NCAA college lacrosse programs representing student athletes on 213 teams in 2 divisions in 10 member conferences across the United States and Canada. We are the MCLA.
We're back here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City, Colorado, a suburb to the north of Denver. More of an industrial area up here for those who aren't familiar with it. We've got a matchup here between the 8th-seeded North Dakota State University Bison and the Savannah College of Art and Design Bees. And we are having a 1-goal deficit for the Bison. And SCAD has the ball behind the Bison net. Trey McKay lost it on the inside, picked up by Pat Griffin for NDSU.
Good check.
Griffin gives it to Freeman.
Sorry, Dan. Good check by Karpatis on an attempted inside dodge.
Karpatis gives it off to Morse. Morse drops it as he's going across the midfield stripe. A nice pick. Clean by Darren Martin for SCAD. And SCAD's heading downfield. Dan Ogren just ran over his man. That was Robluski for North Dakota State. And Robluski didn't know what truck had hit him.
Seems like SCAD's players are starting to be in the right position at the right time.
Coming onto the field with the shot, seeing it all the way, was Freeman on the shot by Matt Dean, who had just come onto the field. Not catching Freeman off guard at all. Riley Mann coming in on the defensive side of the ball, 6'2", 165, from Kennesaw, Georgia, for SCAD. Robluski brings it across the midfield stripe, feeds it inside to McCormick. The shot and the save made by Weinbrenner.
Good, nice feed by Wroblewski right down to the center. It looks like NDSU is getting a little bit rushed. They're starting to rush their shots a little bit where they were completely in control of them in the first half, Dan. They've got to settle down and make sure they're making their opportunities count.
McQuaid has the ball and gives it off to McManus. Will set the SCAD offense. McManus with the spin. Flag down. They're going to call McManus for the elbow, giving him 1 minute, putting him in the box. Elbow came high on the spin move.
Don't usually see that too much with a man in control of the ball getting a penalty, but nonetheless, NDSU is now looking for has a golden opportunity to look for the goal to tie it up.
Is that one that you really have to give the penalty for, Peter, or could you simply call it a ward and change possession?
Well, you can call it a ward, but at this point, you know, if it was right in front of the official, you can't ignore it. And here we go with SCAD playing excellent transition.
The Bees are swarming. Here comes the transition, down a man, unable to scoop up the pass with Polka for the Bees, and we're going to turn it right back over to North Dakota State.
Fantastic job by Kamate on the interception there, and just made a bad pass.
Again, with 6:45 to go, a very well played and well officiated game. I feel privileged to be part of it. 8-7 SCAD, 6.5 to go.
Oh, good look.
Good look inside. Ball sails wide, near side. On the shot by Veldhuis.
Again, a little bit of a rush shot. Veldhuis, nobody in front of him. It could have even afforded to take a couple of steps in, but nonetheless, NDSU still possesses.
Sturgeon possesses up top, gives it to Flock. Flock down low, feeds Reese, goal, North Dakota State.
Just what the doctor ordered. Flock, excellent vision on that goal. Passing to Reese, cutting up above goal line, extended, knotting it up at 8.
North Dakota State.
If you look with the pass from Sturgeon, you got to look at Flock. He takes it just a second to take a look. There's Reese. Good look, good catch, good finish. Exactly what they needed. 8-8, 6:15 left in the fourth.
That goal coming at the 8:45 mark. Reese from Flock. Face on the ball stays right on the middle of the field while the guys get pushed off of it. Face off won by Hoosman for North Dakota State. Hoosman, 6 foot, 220, out of Sauk City, Wisconsin.
A large man with a very important face-off. You got to get goals in bunches to make that momentum swing, and he might have just created a very good opportunity for his teammates.
I would expect all 4
Trends in this game very interesting thus far. Teams trading goals right now, tied at 8, having traded the last 4 goals. 5:29 left in the fourth quarter. Might we be looking at overtime?
It's a strong possibility.
We may need that extra time to determine our player of the game. Trey McKay behind the net. Hands free, shot sails high and wide to the far side. Backed up by North Dakota State's Chris Kryptos.
Well, big defenseman Pat Griffin just got an important check on the hands of McKay, just in the nick of time.
Pat Griffin over to Freeman. The on-rushing Jordy McManus forces a pass from Freeman to the far side. Morse pulls it out.
Excellent job riding here by SCAD. They slow the tempo down.
Up top to Veldhuis. Kamate and Flock doing battle down low.
Good job by Kamate.
Strips him. Flock picks it back up, swings it around. Reese with the shot. Nice save by Weinbrenner.
Weinbrenner back engaged just in the nick of time. He was back there defending and managed to get back just in time to block a shot by Reese. Very important play there. with just about 4 minutes left in this very tight contest.
Riley Mann carries it across. He drops it, but it's picked up by McManus. McManus using his wheels, beats two. It is picked up by Grapotos. Behind the net to McKay. Griffin on him. All the way up top now to Scherson, the difference maker thus far. Dean swings the ball to McManus. Kicks it back up top. Set the offense from the point. Scherson with it. He's got McKay on the field with him down low. Scherson spins, shoots. Going to be backed up by North Dakota State.
Nice help by Morse on that slide, very important. Well, it looks like SCAD wants to funnel their offense through McManus. Krapatis is doing an excellent job of shutting him down, and if he's not going to get a look, it's Scherson that's trying to meet, as Dan said, trying to make be the difference maker, and that time to no avail due to a very good slide by the NDSU defense.
Bison ball. Krapotos has it. Bounces it over to Freeman, who'll start the clear for North Dakota State. Okay, Pete, we're down to 3 minutes left. We've got to pick a player of the game. That was a nice check by Elmquist, making his case for player of the game. Feed back to Elmquist with the long stick. Long stick shot goes nowhere. That's going to be picked up by North Dakota State. Hubert coming the other way. Wrap check attempt by Polka, misses.
Excellent clearing job by Hubert.
Ball fed inside, standing in the way, and the ball sailing out of bounds should give it back to the Bees.
The Bees will get it, and I'll tell you, Dan, this has been a game where it started out where SCAD didn't really have a lot of organization in their close defense to start the game, but they have really settled down, and it seems that they're instilling a little bit of a sense of rush or panic. Not so much panic, but they're rushing the ball a little bit, NDSU is, instead of being patient. They're going to need to be a lot more patient with their shots and make them count with 2 minutes left, two and change.
Oh, that's a goal! Oh my goodness! Oh my! Elmquist scored from the other side of the field.
Me and my big mouth talking right while the play is going, but you know, one of the things at the beginning of the game that we were talking about is that NDSU likes to run a 10-man ride, and that time it burned them. Elmquist, who was one of my guys for MVP, and an MVP candidate, just decided to let it fly, and wouldn't you know, it counts. A very important 9-8 tally at 2:34 left in the fourth quarter of this matchup.
I think that goal, if it proves to be the game winner, has to make Elmquist our player of the game.
The way this game is going, Dan, 2 minutes and 30 seconds is a lifetime.
9-8 SCAD on the long shot and goal by Elmquist. That one off the mark by McKay, but backed up by Jordy McManus.
Good look by Trey McKay. You got to keep your foot on the gas, especially when you got it backing up. McManus to bring the ball in.
SCAD working the ball around. They're going to be very patient with this ball now, holding onto that slim 1-goal margin. 9-8 SCAD. We're approaching 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
And now you might see a very fast-paced offense try to slow this game down, and they're gonna have to keep it in the box here pretty soon. But let's see how patient they can be.
That ball should be out of bounds. It looked to me to be off of North Dakota State. It will be SCAD ball.
And it was, lucky for the Bees.
Scherson and Baumgarten. We've got a loose ball hold being called, helping to get possession back to the Bees.
Bison are going to need to put pressure on this, as we're now under 2 minutes.
McQuaid and Robluski doing battle on the near side. McQuaid beats Robluski, shoots and scores between the legs of Ryan Freeman. That gives SCAD the 2-goal advantage here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park.
This is a very complete SCAD offense, and they are now showing they're taking all the tools out of the toolbox right now, because McQuaid had the patience and the foresight to take his man Wroblewski one-on-one, baited him high, and brought the ball down low. That is going to be probably the biggest difference maker of this contest. 10-8 with 1:36 left in the game. Let's see how NDSU responds.
Okay, 3 candidates, Pete, for player of the game. Should SCAD hold on to this 2-goal lead? North Dakota State works the ball around. I've got Scherson, McQuaid, and Elmquist. That shot's blocked by defenseman Cody Horhoff. Picked up by Cole Whitworth. SCAD has possession with 1:13 to go. And we need our player of the game, Pete.
Dan, in response to your MVP, I think all 3 guys are deserving. I could also say that the goalie Weinbrunner has done an excellent job in this second half. But to me, I gotta get it to Elmo, number 11. Just an outstanding job with ground balls, plus that shot from long range. It's just a great presence of mind. Excellent, excellent goal. And my goal is to Elmquist.
We'll give it. Eric Elmquist will be the MVP of the game for SCAD. Again, that's Eric Elmquist, 5'9", 160-pound defenseman. Not only has he been like a vacuum cleaner on the ground balls, he also scored the go-ahead goal with just over a couple minutes left. North Dakota State looking very out of sorts right now after SCAD put that 2-goal lead up on the board. We've got a timeout. North Dakota State, a much needed timeout. Maybe a little bit too late for the Bison. 18 seconds to go in this game. Bison trail by 2. It's definitely going to be an interesting 18 seconds, but it looks like the Bees are on their way to meeting Grand Valley in the quarterfinals here at Dick's. Let's take a break and we'll be back in 60 seconds. You're watching the MCLA Championships on College Lax TV. Dan Matthews and Pete Van Dusen back at Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City, Colorado. The 8-9 matchup in the MCLA Division II Championships. And it looks like the 9 seed may be coming out with a victory as they hold a 2-goal edge with 18 seconds left to play. We have selected our player of the game. Our CollegeLax.tv player of the game will be Eric Elmquist, the defenseman from Bainbridge Island, Washington, who's traveled all the way across the country to Savannah, Georgia, and parts unknown to attend the Savannah College of Art and Design and play lacrosse. It's been an outstanding game here. Weather seems to be blowing in a little bit. It's cooled off, but it seems to be perfect lacrosse weather. Again, 10-8, we're starting up with 18 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Foley swings it behind the cage, 13. Up top, pass intercepted by Herhoff, and that is going to seal the deal for the SCAD Bees. 10-8 is your final score here from Dick's Sporting Goods Park. We'll have our player of the game as well as his head coach in just a moment.
SCAD 10, North Dakota State 8.
A special thank you to Cody Swikowski, who has done
the
yeoman's work
quarterfinals.
for his first time ever spotting a game, making sure we know who we're watching and when. Pete Van Dusen will be down on the field momentarily with head coach Mike Cummings, as well as Eric Elmquist, in a seesaw game that saw NDSU score 2. SCAD scored the next 2. The Bison scored 1. Then SCAD scored 2. The Bison then went on a 3-goal run in about 6 minutes. to take a 6-4 lead, a 2-goal lead. And then SCAD scored 5 out of the final 7 goals to win this one 10-8 over North Dakota State and the Bison. I see player of the game, Eric Elmquist and Coach Mike Cummings making their way over to the sidelines to our Pete Van Dusen, to the cheers of a nice handful of SCAD Bees fans. Let's toss it down to the field where we've got Pete Van Dusen with Mike Cummings.
Pete Van Dusen here with winning coach Mike Cummings from Savannah College of Art and Design. Coach, that was a thrilling game, and what a testament to your team. Just fight through that and come out with a big victory over NDSU.
Well, thank you. I want to give my hats off to that team. Classy team, well coached, sportsmanship, all the way through. I want to commend them on making this the national tournament and playing a great game, back and forth, entire game. Either club ever gave up.
Absolutely, and from where I was standing up there, it looks like that you guys were looking for a formula that would work for you. A little bit tentative to start, but in that second half, you guys just turned it on. You found some spark plugs, not only in our man number 11, Elmo over there, who's we're going to talk to in a second, but also Mr. Sherman and your goalie Weinbrunner made up some classic saves.
I know. Well, Baby D, Derek Scherson, Minnesota boy. I mean, he is quick, and we knew. He is a spark plug. We knew we could get some production out of him. We talked about transition in the first half. We got confidence. Our guys bringing the ball across field. Wasn't expecting an 80-yard shot from our poles to dump it in the back of the net. He watched ESPN the other night, I guess. But yeah, we were just pleased with how the guys played, a team effort, and couldn't be happier right now.
Couldn't agree more. A team effort, exactly. It looks like you try to filter the offense through McManus. When he was caught up one-on-one with Krapatis, you had more than enough guys who were willing to pull that weight, and just a fantastic outcome. Congratulations, Coach. Let's bring in our MVP of the game here, Eric Elmquist, number 11. Eric, congratulations. Fine job. At reading the stats before the game, I know you were the Hoover of this team, getting all those ground balls, but you were a fantastic spark plug right here, and I bet you weren't counting on an 80-yard goal to seal it.
Yeah, pretty much. We just played really hard. We got to go back to Scherson. I think he's the MVP of the game. He played amazingly. A whole attack with good defense. Cody and Komite. Can't say much else to say. We have who else? We have the midfield. We have now I'm all nervous. You got me all going. McQuaid with the big rippers and kind of a team effort. So
yeah, fantastic. And the defense. What did you guys say at halftime to each other to get each other rallied up a little bit? Because I know it seemed like you guys collapsed on the ball really well in the second half, and that looked to be a big difference maker in the second half.
We double pretty well usually in the season. And just today, at the start of the game, we were kind of slow, kind of nervous, probably being up in the national tournament, and just kind of got going. Nothing really said. Just it's time to pick it up. So,
no Russ, no nervousness here. No nervousness here. You got a great following here from SCAD. Congratulations on an excellent game, Eric, and we'll see you moving forward.
Thank you much.
Great job. You can hear it here. Great job, great following from the SCAD fans, and an excellent game, one of the best I've seen. Let's kick it right back to Mr. Matthews up in Skybox B.
A little bit of chilly Skybox B it is. What an incredible game this one was. Again, a lot of lead changes, a lot of ties. SCAD coming out on top. Special thanks to Will Moss on graphics, executive producer Guy Yankovic, and the entire Northwest Audio Visual production team. College Lax founder Sonny Piper. I'm Dan Matthews, reminding you of our final score once again. SCAD 10, North Dakota State 8. Our next game will begin at 4 p.m. between Colorado State University Rams and the Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs. Thanks for watching MCLA Lacrosse on College Lax TV. So long for now from Dan Matthews and Pete Van Dusen.